Hello everyone, what's happening? And today I have a fantastic, a very beautiful chess game to show you from the history of chess, from the Leipzig chess tournament from 1877 Germany. So in this chess game we have Louis Paulsen with the white pieces and his opponent was Theodor Goering with the black pieces, who was a German chess master, and Louis Paulsen was one of the most important chess players in this era. From 1860s to 1870s, he was one of the leading chess players in the world. So Louis Paulsen was seriously a very talented chess player, and in the history of chess, he was actually one of the first chess players who was capable of playing blindfolded chess games more than 10 people. Just like Paul Morphy, so Paul Morphy and Louis Paulsen was one of the first chess players ever in the history of chess who was capable of playing against for about 10 people simultaneously blindfolded. So, so this is an interesting historical information about Louis Paulsen, and also maybe you have heard Louis Paulsen's name because he was one of the important rivals of Paul Morphy. And I have some nice pictures of Louis Paulsen to show you because I think it would be historically interesting, and you would get more information and you can also feel the ambience, the general feeling of the era much better with seeing these pictures. They are not the best quality of pictures, but I have found some nice pictures about Louis Paulsen. So this is Louis Paulsen playing against Max Lange, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So Max Lange was also known as the Mad Max of chess because of his aggressive attacking style. So the quality of the picture is not top-notch. Also, there is one more picture of Louis Paulsen. So in this picture, well, he is playing with no other than the great, legendary Paul Morphy. You can see Paul Morphy on the right. Again, the quality of the picture is not top-notch. It is not perfect, not in high resolution, but it is a very important picture. So you can see Paul Morphy on the right. I think back in the day, the chessboards were a little bit more larger in that era at professional chess. So Paulsen on the left. So Paulsen was also, again, like I said, he was one of the rivals of Paul Morphy. But Paul Morphy defeated Paulsen in the first American Chess Congress, I believe. So in the first American Chess Congress, Paul Morphy became the champion by defeating Louis Paulsen 5-1, and they also drew 2 times. So Morphy won 5 games. Morphy was incredible, of course. And this is also a very nice and incredible picture. You can see Paul Morphy on the right playing against Louis Paulsen on the left. So I think they gathered together just to take this photo because you can see that they're just posing to the camera, in my opinion, in this picture, because the spectators is a little too close to the chess players awkwardly, and the chessboard is very small, so this is just for posing. Okay, but an incredible picture, of course. You can also see Paul Morphy on the right. Morphy was such a small person physically. Interesting. There is also few Paul Morphy pictures on the internet, and I believe, in my humble opinion, 2 of them is not real Paul Morphy, and I'm going to show those pictures as well, and I will discuss them, and I'm going to share my opinion and why I think those pictures are why they don't belong to Paul Morphy. I will explain it. That's my opinion. Of course, I'm a little bit skeptical about those pictures. So this is also a very nice picture. This is from 1880s, I believe, in the late 19th century. So Louis Paulsen on the right, and his opponent in this picture on the left is Johannes Zukertort, one of the leading chess players at the time. So this is an engraving, I think. So this is not a picture, but an engraving, a steel engraving maybe. So this is Louis Paulsen playing a blindfolded chess game in this picture. So you can see that he's not looking at the chessboard. So this is Louis Paulsen again. So if you think that I'm talking too much, I'm giving a lot of informations, well, the name of the channel is Historical Chess Videos. And if you think that my commentary is off and I'm talking too much, please don't watch my channel. It is that simple. So I'm just being honest, that's all. Anyway, so one more, this is not a picture, this is the scorecard of the Leipzig chess tournament, and impressively Louis Paulsen won this tournament. So this shows you that Louis Paulsen was indeed such a strong chess player. So he defeated many of his important opponents in this tournament. So you can see that there is also some very strong chess players in this tournament who competed in this tournament. So Paulsen won, and Anderson came second, Adolf Anderson, and Johannes Zukertort, who was also a World Chess Championship challenger, who competed against Wilhelm Steinitz, one of the first chess players, the first actually chess player with Wilhelm Steinitz, who played the first official World Chess Championship match. And Zukertort came third, and Paulsen won this in 1877. So you can see that there are so many other important chess players, leading chess players at the time. And that W. Paulsen was the older brother of Louis Paulsen, who came last, who didn't do very well. I think he was not as strong as his younger brother, Louis Paulsen. Anyway, okay, sorry for talking too much, but again, if you don't enjoy this, if you don't watch my channel, I mean, it is very simple. I will do this sometimes, and sometimes I'm only going to show the moves. And sometimes, of course, I'm going to give some informations. Okay, so let's begin. The game is very simple. E4, E5, and knight to F3, knight to C6, developing the pieces. And we have 3 knights game, and then 4 knights game. So bishop to B5, bishop to B4, and both players castled. And capturing the knight, giving up the bishop, and in this position, black can capture the knight, damaging the pawn structure, and then capture on E4 is maybe a possibility. We have D3 defending that, and then bishop to G4, pinning the knight, asking a question, bishop to H5, king to H1. An interesting idea. So the idea of Paulsen is to bring his rook to G1 and then push his pawn, unleash a kingside attack after building his pieces, his attacking pieces in the kingside, rack the pawn cover in front of the king, and then attack the king and hunt the king, and then checkmate. It is that simple. So queen to E7, rook over as planned. So rook over, lining the rook with the queen. So in this position, white has to be careful, because bishop takes knight is possible after capturing the bishop. Knight takes on E4, because this d pawn is going to be pinned. So carefully, queen to E2, H6, a prophylactic move, not allowing bishop to G5, knight to D1, bishop to C5, G4 as planned at the correct moment. So defending the bishop, and then knight in, king to H7, bishop to E3, knight to D7, repositioning the knight, knight to F5, and the knight is getting in, and this knight is looking very dangerous. So black would like to get rid of this knight, but if capturing the knight, that was the whole plan of Louis Paulsen, opening the G file, capturing back with the G pawn, a caveman type of chess, but it is going to be effective. I mean, simple and effective. So this was the idea of Louis Paulsen, opening the G file, and it is going to be very dangerous. So defending the queen, queen to E6, and then lifting the rook up, and finally slowly he is going to bring the other rook to G1, rook over to G1, and building a battery on the G file. So rook over, simply capturing the bishop, and then placing the knight on E3, so also supporting this knight. So queen to f6 and rook over. So at the correct moment, Louis Paulsen wants to push the pawn and unleash an attack in the king side. So knight back. So knight is also targeting some of the tender squares. Queen to d2 and knight to g5. So in this position, we have queen to a5, knight back, and it looks like black is basically defending the c-pawn, and black has a crumpy position, and all of the pieces of white functions very well. And in this position, Louis Paulsen is executing his attacking move at the perfect time. He is pressing the buttons at the perfect time. He played g5 by Louis Paulsen. So he is actually playing perfect chess, very accurate. So g5 at the perfect time, and this was the move of the computer chess engine. We have knight takes on g5, and can you see what happens? Actually, this was the strongest move. Can you see what happens if h takes on g5? It is white to move. What would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? Okay, knight to g4, and thank you very much for the game. The queen is trapped. Where is the queen going? The knight is occupying. This knight on f5 is also occupying the only escape square, e7. The queen is stuck and trapped. So black is losing the queen. It is that simple. So okay, in this position after g5, we have knight takes on g5. What else? And then it is white to move. Now, not every move is working. Why did Louis Paulsen sacrificed his pawn? Why did he sacrifice the pawn with pushing the g-pawn? What was his idea? Did you see white's next move? So right now, knight to g4 doesn't work because of queen to e6. So this was the move, h4 by Louis Paulsen, and basically black is losing a piece in this position. It's that simple. Because the only safe spot, e6 for the knight, is not working because of knight to g4, trapping the queen. Thank you very much, sir, for the game. It was pleasure playing with you. It is that simple. The queen is trapped. So after this move, h4, we have bishop takes on f5, but you have to see these important in-between moves. Pawn takes knight, and the queen is under attack, so there is no time for saving the bishop. But in-between move, bishop takes on e4 for grabbing a pawn, but it doesn't matter. So after capturing the bishop, black is saving the queen, and then knight to g4, and basically we can say that officially white is a piece up. And this is also forking the queen and the e-pawn. So king back, check, king to g2, which does nothing. So queen to g6 and simply capturing the pawn. And white is a piece up. Most modern chess masters would resign in this position. We have f6, check, and not king to h-file because of this open menacing h-file is going to cause problems. Rook check, and the only defense is with the queen. Losing the queen, so this is the only move. And then, so basically white is a piece up. I mean, this is easily winning. So this is the only move for the king. King to f8. And then rook over, rook over. And Louis Paulsen played a very strong move in this position. He played the best move, the absolute best move according to the computer chess engine. The chess engine told me that Louis Paulsen's move was the top engine move. So can you guess the next move of Louis Paulsen? He didn't miss the best move in 1877. So what would you do? It is white to move, and consider this as a simple daily chess puzzle. Okay. So let me wait 3 more seconds. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm showing the move. This is the move, knight to e5, and what a classy move by Louis Paulsen. We have queen takes on e4. Everything is losing for black. Everything. every move. So if queen to h5 or something like that, then knight to d7 is going to be checkmate. Checkmate. So if rook takes, then knight takes, forking the king and the rook. And this is all over. Rook to d3 and white is a rook up. So what else? Actually, there is no defense. So queen takes on e4, rook takes queen, rook takes queen. Paulsen played a move and Theodor Goering resigned. The move was knight to g6, forking the king and the rook and winning the house. This is all over. Because the possible continuation, if king to f7, knight takes rook with check, rook takes rook, check, king takes, well, this is unplayable for black. White has the knight and the rook, black has nothing. So in this position, if king to g8, then rook takes rook. It's game over. White is 2 pieces up. So, okay, what do you think about this amazing chess game by Louis Paulsen? Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and bye-bye.